Hey guys, it's Dave again with another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today we're taking a look at my fig tree here. I believe it's a Celeste, but I've had it for at least 4 or 5 years, and I've been noticing a lot of this going on. It's still growing okay, the foliage isn't looking great, so I did some investigation, and I saw that I had things mulched a little high, which I cleared out, but in further investigation I saw that it was crazy root bound, and what we're going to do today is dump it out, clean up some of these roots, snip some of the gnarly ones, kind of separate it out, and I'm going to see if I can propagate more than one tree out of this. I have this area behind the fence back here that I just kind of cleared out, and I would like to kind of go nuts back there. And if I can get more than one fig, I'm going to repot it properly here because I like where it is next to my garden bed here, and see how many I can get out of this and plant them back there. Alright, so I laid down some plywood from, actually they were old paintings, but I laid this down so we can contain some of the soil and stuff and keep the mess minimal. So first order of business, this is already loosened up because I was checking it out the other day. I'll bring you guys in a little closer to see what we're working with here. Okay, so I investigated some of this earlier, and I did at least pull this guy who is growing around. That's the major problem here. You have things root bound, they're going to slowly start growing in circles, both in the pot, within the root network, and they'll eventually swell up, you know, like all roots do. They'll grow and get woody, and they'll eventually start constricting growth. Another big problem with this is it's so root bound, and there's so many roots in there, there's not much room for potting soil or nutrients, so they're not really getting the nutrients they need. Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to do here is slowly start pulling back some of this dirt. It's pretty dry. Part of that is because it hasn't been able to get enough water because the roots are so bound. But I'm just kind of massaging the root system here, being careful not to do any serious damage. Some of these smaller roots, it's not a big deal, but these larger roots we need to be careful with. This is quite a mess. I'm just working my way around. Very compact towards the center. Work my way around a little bit. This is very root bound up here where I had it over mulched. I'll definitely need to take care of that. Just slowly working my way around here. Quite a bit of work. Starting with a massage where it's very dense, just kind of stabbing and wiggling around. Just kind of pulling some of these roots apart where I can. Look at that. So bound. This is something that you're going to want to do every few years if you have your figs potted. We are definitely getting there. Okay, I've shaken a majority of the dirt off. Some people would rather power wash or even just use a strong setting on the hose, or perhaps soaking it. My soil is fairly dry. I hadn't watered it yet this morning, so this method worked for me. And now I am just separating what I can. I also have my pruners in case I run into anything really bad that I need to snip. Yes, you'll lose some roots, but it doesn't need all this many roots. Too many roots is the problem here. We have a lot of roots growing back up into the tree, and that is definitely no bueno. Especially right here. Just kind of coming through with my hands. That one is very bound. This one growing up in there. Where I over mulched. Actually, it was just potting soil in general. But where I overdid it, there's a lot of roots coming out. The majority of those roots are doing the wrong things because your root level is supposed to be here with the soil and your soil's up here. Your roots are going to want to grow up. And when they grow up, they'll meander around, and that is what constricts your plants. It's looking much better. What I'd like to do now is see how many separations I can do with this. How many more plants I can propagate. Roosters always. This I'm going to see if my pruning saw is going to work. I'm bringing close here. This is what I did. I wouldn't do this with just any tree. Figs are going to bounce back very easily. They also propagate a lot of roots. This has tons of roots. This has tons of roots. I'm considering going for a third and splitting this in half here. Okay, so there's two from that. I'll most definitely be putting this one back over here. It's pretty large. And this one back in the pot that it came from. And this one either in a pot or accompanying the other one back there. Okay, so we have our pot here. I'm gonna make a mixture here. Fresh potting soil. Some more organic soil. Here comes the reason as to why I emptied this out on ply. Sorry, I'm removing some of these roots. I have some extra here. I'll probably either repurpose, put in my compost. I'm going to mix everything in here. About finished up here. Making sure I can pack things on the way up. Okay, we're getting a little rain here, so I'm going to wrap this up. She's all the way filled up. I'm going to really water this in nice. I guess the rain will come in handy for that too. And also add a little bit of mulch on top to retain some of that moisture. Alright guys, well thanks for tuning in to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. If you like what you saw, you'd like to see more, like or subscribe to keep posted on what's going to be coming up next. Also, I plan on doing some updates on some of these projects that we've covered. Well, that concludes how to A, transplant and de-root bound a fig, as well as propagate multiple trees from one tree. I hope you guys found this informative, interesting. Likes, comments, subscribe if you'd like to keep up with these projects, and I'll get some more coming to you. All right, thanks guys.